Alright, there we go. Alrighty then. Welcome everybody. Hello. So yeah, I'm back. And today we're gonna continue with the rock part. I don't know if it is gonna be good, but yeah, we're gonna make sure that we use the right colors on this one and then figure that one out. But first we need to make sure that we have calibrated the pencil right, because that's the first thing we need to do all the time. Don't worry, it's gonna be quick, gonna be easy, you know, just a casual part. Calibrations, there we go, and boom, and there you have it. So, pressing this button over here, there, there, and there. Now everything should be fine. Like last time, I have put off the background because otherwise I might not have the right color in the top. I will show you. So the whole point was that when I'm selecting these colors, I have problems with selecting the right well, colors that are in the whole circle. So that's why I put off blue, because otherwise I will get more bluish, and then it all will not make any sense whatsoever. So we're gonna fix this because, you know, did not fix that beforehand. So yeah, I'm just gonna follow the strokes again, you know, making this thing looking more alive. So yeah, yesterday was a good day. I had a blast. So, and today I'm gonna make sure that these rocks are looking fine, and then tomorrow I will go back on my EC game because I want to complete the campaign. It's gonna be a hard one, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. You know, creating all these stupid animals that gonna fight for me. It's gonna be lovely. So yeah, it's just, you know, finding out which color is right, which color I don't want to have, which color I do want to have. So yeah, it's a little bit early here, but well, I slept well enough. I made it a little bit late, yeah, yesterday, a little bit, but I had a good sleep, so I don't need to worry about that. But I still want to complete this whole how do you say, this whole picture without any problems whatsoever. Well, I need to fix this. There you go. So yeah, most of this is just gonna be me doing, you know, drawing rocks and such. So after all this whole after this, yeah, after this part, I think I'm almost done. You know, it's getting really quick. The way of doing things, you know, it gets all really fast done. If this is the only part that needs to be left, because after this one, most of the parts are gonna be more easier to do, except this one over here and this one over here is a little bit difficult. But for the rest, I think most of it will be just way quicker done than, you know, these big rocks, because these big rocks are easy normally to color in. But if you want to add texture and well, more layers of color to give them more of a look instead of, you know, blend one colorized look, it changes a lot of things, because the color that I use, like this one, is so bland that is very I don't like it. You know, it's not the best color that I want for my rocks to have, and I like to have my rocks, you know, a little bit more colored in than just, you know, one casual color, so that I can have this feeling that they are natural looking rocks, you know, that I can find under the sea, instead of, you know, these rocks that don't even, you know, are just one-sided color. And that's the important part, you know. I just want to make sure that this is perfect. And to make things perfect, you know, I just need to have patience for this and work around with all the other parts that I already have to my disposal. So I'm just using this color to make a more realistic look of it, giving it a little bit more of a texture, because it already has a texture by just the drawing itself. But now it gets this big how do you say this? Whew, I'm not good with talking when I'm drawing, absolutely not. But you get this more of a realistic feel when you just, you know, add this color to it. It gives more shading, it gives more depth, it gives more field of view. And then once you're done with that, you already can see the difference between a normal looking rock, or well, a non-colored rock, and the colored one. You can see then the main field of depth that changed it. So what are you doing is actually just, you know, filling up, but I'm constantly trying to keep on with the normal strokes. So I try to fill up the strokes that I left behind, but I'm not trying to, you know, do it perfectly. So most of this is just me, you know, following the strokes and drawing these rocks. That's the main thing. But, you know, these rocks are always looking nice. That's the main idea. They look nice, they feel nice, but you know, some of them are hard to draw. Some of these rocks are not that hard to draw. It all depends on what kind of rock I want, what kind of look I want to have on these rocks. You know, do I want to have a good looking rock? Do I want to have these textures inside of the rock? So yeah, once this is all done, I'm very happy, because then I can actually focus on the rest of the parts. So yeah, these rocks have their own way of, you know, knowing that they are good or bad. And eventually, you know, you will get the right rock and the right timing of the rocks, you know. It all just takes time. And I have this time most of the times. Ugh, my voice. Ooh, I laughed too hard. I have laughed too hard, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm a little bit. I had a good time. I had such a great time. It was a good day. Good night. So yeah, all of these rocks, you know, they are just the same old rocks that everybody else knows. But you know, I'm just trying to give them a little bit more of a feeling a little more of a drawing feeling. So you can already see what the difference is between both of these rocks. This one over here, that one over there, you know. I'm not the I am not perfect in this kind of thing, you know. I have drawn many rocks and most of these rocks are the same, but some of them are not. And I have used apparently different kind of yeah. I apparently have used different kind of styles for all of them. You know, I try to use this style. I try to copy into this kind of rock and into this one, but both don't have the same kind of style. They are almost the same. They are not looking the same, but they're almost the same. Like this one has a lot of tiny ones, and this one is more big round sculptures of rocks, you know, big drawings of rocks. And the main reason is because, you know, I cannot copy my own drawings. I could, I should have, but you know, all these rocks that I have drawn, what I could have done was actually making one rock and then more different rocks, and then, you know, put them on all different layers and then add them up to each other. But I don't know, that feels like kind of cheap. And I like to keep this, you know, rock drawing like all the same instead of not having any. So yeah, all of these rocks are so well, they're not well done, but they are all the same. So most likely I try to use different kind of forms, and I could not place them correctly down, which happens, you know, it happens. So yeah, eventually, or if after these rocks are done, then I can just continue with doing whatever I wanted to do beforehand, and you know, focus on the bright side of things. Like, you know, these rocks are cool, they look nice. Just like that, but I don't know. Hmm. It's really hard to give proper vision to rocks that I don't know about. Yeah, it's really hard to do so. Most because of it. Yeah. Oh my god. Hmm. Please stop gasping. Thank you. Because of all these rocks are all different looking, different, well, having different forms, having different shapes, having different strokes that I made. Like these ones have different kind of strokes that I made than these ones. They are, you know, way more open. These are way closer, more rougher. So when I'm trying to get these rocks done well, you know, I'm not trying to make sure that they blend in. I'm trying to make sure that they are looking well so that I can use them again for next time when I'm needing, you know, drawing rocks. So I will copy this part of the layer and then, you know, using that to represent the bud. So yeah, eventually I will get this thing right. but you know, I have never worked with color before. Well, I'm now doing it for what, maybe 2 months already, but I have not gained any experience beforehand before I started this, you know, these rocks. You know, coloring things is like not my strong suit. I like to draw things, that's correct. But I leave the color I like to leave the color to the professionals, you know, not me. I like to leave them to people that have experience with coloring instead of me focusing on well, instead of me focusing on the other side. So when I'm trying to get the these things done, you know, it's very hard, and this takes a lot of time because, you know, I'm not sure that how I do things, things will go well for me. Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to explain it to you. I don't know if it makes any sense at all. But, you know, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to draw at the same time. It's not a good way to do things because that way my brain is like, ugh, no, no thank you. So yeah, thinking and doing things at the same time is not my strong suit. Never will be, never would be. So yeah, I'm trying to focus on whatever I wanted to do first, you know, and then figure things out later. So all of this, you know, all of this work, all of this hard-earned work that I'm trying to do, you know, it's all part of what I try to do. And most of this is not gonna work well because, you know, the whole picture is gonna be looking great. But if I'm now, you know, forgetting something again, I need to do it all over again, which is really bad. So when I'm trying to do things like, you know, drawing things, making things up, um, like listening to music, it would not be really good for me because then I will lose focus. Well, I will not lose focus if I'm listening to music all the time. I will just lose focus when I'm, you know, hearing lyrics, not Larry's. Um, so yeah, when I'm listening to music and I hear a lyric, I tend to, you know, wander off in that vision, or well, in that song itself. So my mind is really, you know, my mind is really good with imagination, but still, it has its limits. And most of the problems lie that these imaginations that cause things to happen tend to be not very handy dandy when it comes to, you know, concentrating with your work or your progress that you're trying to make. Because then you're like, oh wow, this song is so good, and then you realize like, oh no, I forgot this to do so. I didn't put any attention on this. So yeah, how do I do this one? Ooh, this one is difficult. By the way, these rocks are really annoying to work around. Because you see the rocks, you know where the rocks are, and then still you are questioning yourself like, is this the right way to draw the rocks? Is this the right way? And then you realize like, yes, it is the right way, but still something is missing, you know? And most of these rocks are gonna be, just drawing rocks. Well, at least that is what I'm thinking that's gonna be. And eventually all these rocks are gonna be really nice and well done, that's true. But for now it isn't. Because this is like one of the ways to do things. And then I follow these rocks, and all these rocks are very stiff, very flat. Like, they have been polished a little bit too much. Ugh. And since they are a little bit too much polished, you get these weird shapes of flat surfaces. It's like they have been polished by the sand that is running around, which is a kind of cool look, but then you realize like, well, over here it's far more rough and far more texturized. And then if you're going over here, these are also very rough. They are all not that polished at all. They are polished, but not that polished. Still a little bit more rough in the texture. But we're halfway there, so no need to worry there. But yeah, these rocks are very round. That's the word. And that can be a good thing. That can be a bad thing. Because round things can be really good for people. And then you realize like, yes, they can, but also these round textures remove the whole, well, the whole feeling of these rocks feeling natural. That's I should not have not made these things round. That's correct. I'm gonna make a mistake here, and I will, gladly admit that these rocks are a little bit too round for their liking. These ones are these are really good rocks, they're really nice texturized, really well made, not all of them are round, not all of them are, they have these edges, these sudden edges that are broken off, that's good. This, however, is not that great. This is better, and these ones were the last one I draw. So these ones are the last that I made. And that means that they are actually the best that they are the best, they look the best, they feel the best, they they feel like rocks. So these rocks, most of these rocks won't feel like really well done rocks. That's the main idea. So what I'm now gonna try to do, so then I cannot add these rocks more textures. I could, but I have zero clue if it would work. The rocks. It's hard to make new rocks. So I'm just gonna get on with the flow, and just make this a well-learned lesson for my part. Seeing that these rocks are not very well done, I will try to make better ones next time. That's the whole idea. So by looking at your mistakes that you have made beforehand, and knowing that these mistakes can lead to, situations like, for instance, what's a good one? You're trying to ride a bike with one wheel, but you have a bicycle. So you're not having a unibike, but you have a bicycle, and you try to ride a bike with one wheel. You will realize sooner or later that, well, it doesn't work well. It works, trust me, it could work. If you have the right balance, it could work, but um, it's not optimal. It's not the best of the best. And since that you always want to improve upon your own skills, maybe you should put an extra wheel inside, so that you can finally drive it correctly. And once you're done that, then you learn how to drive with 2 wheels. Well, then you're gonna make some mistakes like, oh no, I put both brakes at the same both brakes at the same time, and then you improve upon that. So it's all about learning things. I learn things by finding out like, oh wait, that doesn't work well. Oh wait, that's a joke. Oh wait, that's supposed to be humor. All right, it's not natural. It's a learning process for most. Well, for me at least. I don't know if most counts. So yeah, that's the thing. Ugh. Well, today I'm gonna be great because I'm just gonna do this, just drawing rocks. And people always say like, why are you drawing these rocks? And then I'm like, yeah, because I need to draw these rocks. And now I'm even coloring these rocks. The first thing I was trying to think about was like, why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, because I want to make someone happy. Yeah, that's the main drive. I'm not doing this because I like to do it. I'm doing this because I want to do this, and I want to prove myself that I'm doing this rightfully. So, and since that this is all part of my, well, establishment, knowing that these rocks represent my way of living, a rocky living of life. I like to make sure that these rocks represent the way of how I represent rocks. I don't see rocks as, simply there to be there. I like to see rocks like, giving texture to the environment, giving life to it, giving field of depth to it. And yeah, by making sure that by making sure that all this is connected, and I will make sure that this rock that I'm now drawing on, is gonna be looking great. I'm not gonna make it great by just, looking at it. No. That's not how things work here. I will make rocks great by just, seeing the rocks are great. Knowing that the rocks are great. I see that these rocks need their own guidance. I need to see that, these rocks they meant something. They mean something. They are really cool, nice looking rocks. And well, these rocks should be drawn upon. Once the rocks are drawn, then I will be, very satisfied. Because if I'm finishing this, I will have a better understanding that this is actually looking well. And since that this is gonna be looking well, and well means that everything is gonna be looking well, I will be very happy to see. Yeah, I will see all things happening from all angles. I'm happy if this will work out. I'm not gonna be disappointed. I'm not gonna be not satisfied. If this turns out to be great, yeah, sure. But there is always room for improvement, and I like to have this room that I, keep mumbling about. This room that I want, this drawing that I'm gonna try to draw, you know. After this is done, I will make more. Trust me, I will make more and I will improve upon myself, the things that I have left behind beforehand. So, the first thing I'm gonna do before I'm gonna do anything here is making sure that I have these, you know, rocks done. I will have this project done, and once this project is done, I will be very happy to see myself like, I made this, and you know, I put effort in it. I put my name in it. And I will be very happy and very satisfied that what I was striving for works. I now know where I need to go for, what I need to focus for if I'm, you know, working with these working with these kind of type of rocks, you know. I need to make sure that I have textures all around, you know, to give this field of depth, this this beautiful way of, you know, so most of this is just gonna be me, you know, talking about what? The rocks apparently. Still rocks, you know. I'm busy doing it. If I would not have done it, if I was not busy drawing rocks and all that stuff, I would have been talking about well, subjects that I have no idea what I'm talking about anyway. So why we're not just talking about rocks, instead, you know, I have an expertise rock diploma. Oh well. So yeah, these rocks are gonna be great. Yeah, well, that's it. That's not good. So yeah, after this is all done, I'm very happy to pronounce that. Well, I'm very happy to say to you that I'm very satisfied upon all things that I like. You know, normally, you know, things don't work out well for me, especially when it comes to, you know, drawing. I normally get very frustrated that I don't, you know, finish up my project, that it takes so long, and I lose inspiration. That's the thing that happens, you know. You lose inspiration when you're trying to make this whole happening. So to put a goal upon your face, you know, knowing that, oh my god, putting a goal upon, putting up a goal, you know, like a simple goal, like you try to finish this off within today, you know, and then you're like, yeah, that's actually a quite good goal. Yes, it is. So try to finish up one thing at a time, you know. Don't get overstressed, don't get overworked, you know. It's all bad if you do that. Overstressing really hurts your head, and trust me, I have been overstressed for multiple times. It is no fun at all. It's really annoying. So these rocks, you see already what happens, right? These gaps are too big, too wide, too narrow. So what's gonna happen is that these so what's gonna happen is that these rocks are well drawn, but they have these huge gaps inside. So these gaps are no fun to play with, because these don't have that many, and these don't have that many as well. It feels very unnatural to have them, and That's a mistake I made, and I can try to fix that, or I can just move on with it and just I know that they exist. I know that they represent some really problematic issues, and try to fiddle around it. And that's what I'm gonna do now. Why? Because as I said before, you could fix the thing. You have different options all the time. You have different options. You could fix a problem. You could work around the problem. And what I'm now trying to do is just work around it. Why? Because it will learn me how to, I already learned my lesson that I should not have done that in the first place. But if I would do it now, most of the parts that I'm gonna draw, it's gonna be looking really annoying if I'm doing it now. Well, it's not gonna be looking annoying. It's gonna be annoying because I will be done doing this again, what, 2 hours or something, or more. It's gonna be taking so much work. And I am a perfectionist, but I see the problem there. I see what happens if I'm not, I still have a deadline to make. And if I now, give in to the problem instead of, instead of not fixing it at all, I'm just, working a little bit around it, making sure that, oh my god, working around it, fixing things. So yeah, all these rocks, they don't need to be representing well-made ones. They don't need to be good ones to work with. They just need to be, So these rocks, they just need to be, worked around, because otherwise I will make so much wasted time. And since that we cannot afford so many wasted times to be there, we are just gonna be, drawing and seeing if we can just, work around it. If we can't, then we can still fix that later, That's no problem, but we need to have a finished project before, the time goes by. We need to have a representation of all the things that we wanted to show the people that already work for, and maybe they like it, maybe they don't see it. And not everything is perfect, no life is perfect, no art is perfect. There's always a flaw in art. There's always a flaw in whatever you do. If you would have a perfect thing, then, well, it would be a miracle. And that makes it also very good. But, you need to make sure that you don't overwork yourself with, like, I have this annoying thing that I cannot deal with. I need to make sure that I don't get lost by it. And all these things, It's really annoying when things like that happen, Just thinking about, having this problem that you just had, and, well, you need to fix it, but, most people are like, yeah, anyway, I want this be done by Saturday morning. I want to have this so-called people, already at your door at Monday morning. So, you need to make sure that you don't rush it, but still, there are some people waiting for your work. And by, keeping a strict plan and, try to work around little things, and then, work around big problems, and, well, work around little things, and fix big problems. It's like, yeah, you don't want to start You don't want to start a problem-solving company. You know that's not your goal. Your goal is to, you know, just produce some art that people like and then they buy. That's the main idea. You want to produce art that they like and they will buy. And if you have an assignment, you listen to whatever they wanted to say and what they want. You can give them what they want, unless it will ruin your art, you know? And then they need to decide to. I can already see that I did this one sloppier than the other one. So much more. You can feel it, you know? You can feel if things don't add up. Like, this is a good rock. And, you know, some of these rocks are good, but some of them are utterly trash. You know, I am a rock expert here, and, you know, I have a whole manual about rocks and fossil rocks, and so don't worry about that, but still. Some of these rocks are very terrible to look at. Why? Because, you know, they're rocks, and, you know, some of the textures don't add up, and look at that. That's some nice. This is some nice thing to draw with. You know. This is some nice one to draw with because now I can actually, you know, improve whatever was laying around here. So yeah, some of them are good, some of them are bad, and you want to just, you know, make sure that you have this vision that you have been left behind, you know, the vision that you're working with, the drawing that you're working with, you know, ends up great. That's the whole point. You want to make sure that your drawing ends up great. How you want to achieve it, that's your way. I'm just doing it my way. I'm just, you know, trying to get to the end of it. Well, I'm not trying to get to the end of it. I'm trying to get to the end of the rock part, because otherwise I will be sitting here for ages, like ages of times, and it really is not good to be stuck on one part when you can do multiple parts at once. You can revisit it anyway. It's not like it is going to be necessary. It's a revisable place. All these parts that you're working with, all these people, all these things, you know, you're dealing with, you can just revisit them every single time. You don't have to haste. What you do need to be careful of is, you know, fast drawing, because if you just, you know, draw something really fast and be like, yeah, I'm done, you know, that's all, I'm not gonna do any effort in it, then yeah, that's bad. But if you already have spent so much time on, you know, making these rocks already, and you don't want to spend more time than there was necessary, then first finish up the project, because maybe, just maybe, it will end up great. I'm not saying that it's gonna be great, I'm gonna say that it maybe ends up great. So yeah, eventually it will, but that all takes time, you know. Time and effort are things that you can and must have. You need to be so these well, so if I'm just, you know, I'm now just doing my thing what I wanted to do beforehand, you know, keeping up with the drawing, a little bit less, yeah, there you go. So I'm trying to get this thing done. That's my main goal. My main goal is not to try to make everybody, satisfied. Well, that's also a thing I want to do, but I'm trying to get this thing done. I'd like to have this thing satisfied for me. I like to have this thing satisfied for everybody else that I'm working with, Just the small things that I want to deal with. The small things that I want to know. Small things that I see. I'm not paying too much attention on this. I'm just, trying to fill up the gaps that I have been left behind. That's the idea. So I'm just gonna try to fix up the color palette. That's the idea. How I'm doing it? I have no idea. When will I do it? No idea. Will there be, some kind of things that might be done? Yes, there might be. But, there are some places where the color palette isn't right, and some places where the color palette is right. So, yeah. It's all about, finding the right way of dealing with these problems that occur while, you try to color things up. And then suddenly, you end up like, well, like that, like this. So most of the times you try to keep on with the brush, on the lines as you fill it. So you keep up with the brush strokes. So you want to know where the brush is, you want to know where the rocks are, and then you want to know how to get these things done. What I'm now doing is, I'm filling things up because, these things need to be filled up because that's the idea. I don't know how far I can fill this up. I don't know when I'm gonna fill this up. I don't know how. I'm just filling it up whenever I feel like it. So if I'm going here, I can see where I need to draw. So that's a no-go. Alright. So we're not gonna be doing here. So what I'm gonna do is gonna look for the part that, so right over here is the part I need to quit. So right over here. Then this is also off limit. Yes. So yeah, I'm getting there. So then this is also off limit, right? No, this one is not off limit. This is off limit. Yes. Alright, so we're just gonna keep on with the rocks, so we don't wanna interfere, with the casual business that are left behind, As you can see, I'm already missing some parts that I have not colored in, so we're just gonna move on with that and just, see right there. And those parts are, parts that I have colored in. So I'm just gonna be coloring this in like I did beforehand because I can do that. And right, so alright, so I have done this now with the colorization and you can already see what's going on. So the main problem that always lies within these things, in these rocks, is that most of them are gonna be too light or too dark or, anything between that. Which is annoying as hell because, I can, change up parts that I don't want and change up this, the rocky behavior here. Right over here I can just, add up the rock. So what you want to do, or what I'm always want to do, is just, you know, figure out how to do this and that and such to get a quite good experience upon the rocks. Because most of this rock part, it sounds so stupid. Most of this rock part, yeah, it is technically just rock parts, but you know, not all of these rocks are all the same. You know, they all have different kind of, you know, feeling, different kind of touch to them. So don't be afraid to, you know, pull off some strange edges on them, you know, edges. And since that all of this is all, you know, just me drawing rocks, it doesn't feel like, you know, I'm doing anything, right? Because this rock, you know, it's just a rock. Well, why would you care about coloring these rocks? It already looks nice. Well, the main problem is that you don't have the texture then. And the texture is actually quite important. Because, as you can see, look at that, boom. Rocks. There you have it. Nice and steady. So now we have 4 rocks done. That's correct. The main issue is that I draw the one on the right side in a different kind of shape and a different color. But that's not that important because, you know, I kept in mind some parts of that. So yeah. So what we're gonna do now, since that we have done this beautiful artwork of, you know, drawing rocks, well done me, I am so proud of myself today. I'm gonna call it quits here because, you know, I'm feeling like, I don't want to start any more rocks, I don't want to start coloring anymore, and, you know, you don't want to go against your guts like, no. You don't want to do that. You don't work if you cannot work, you know. Stupid. Alright, so hold on. I opened 2 times the same file. Haha. Good. I almost made a mistake by erasing all the things I have done. So keep that in mind. Always keep your eyes focused. So if I would not have been focused, I would have made a mistake that I would not save correctly. Keep that in mind. That's also a thing. So yes, I like to save this there. Thank you. And I like to do that again. Save as. So we have now done 1, 2, 3, 4 parts already. So we are from 4. We are now 4 from from this. We're now 4. We now only need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So only 9 left, if I'm correct. So yeah, we're almost there. We're almost close. We have now done this part, these rock parts, you know, rock parts. Yeah. So we have done these rocks, and now we're gonna make sure that the other parts are also, you know, in the right shape and the right form. So stay tuned on that one. So I'm gonna call it quits here, as I said beforehand, and I will see you all next time. And hopefully we're not trying to draw rocks again. We're gonna try to focus on eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Take a finger by the toe. We're gonna go for you. Yes. Well, technically we need to go for this one first. So we're gonna go for this one. I will just show you which one it is. This is gonna be our last, you know, entrance. This is gonna be our next our next part that we're gonna color up in the right colors. So it's gonna be greenish, 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 and a little bit of the, rocks. So it will still be a little bit of rock, but less rock than, the last one we had. Congratulations, by the way. We're drawing on the bloody damn surface of the ocean, so yeah, we're gonna do that. So yes, we're meeting a lot of rocks. That's explaining a lot, right? So I hope I see you all next time, and until then, I would say have a nice day and enjoy the weather today.